Hey, what's up, fight fans? This is MMA Dan, YouTube's home for fight news and your views. We're back this week with a milestone episode number 2. I hope everyone's having a great week over there. Been a busy week leading up to UFC 203, and we're going to recap 3 of those stories for you this episode. But first, if you're a new viewer and you're wondering what the MMA poll show is all about, really it's a fun, easy way for you to chime in on the week's most important news. Each topic gets a quick summary, then you vote. The poll shows you exactly how your opinion stacks up with everybody else's, and it stays up to date so you can check back again later. Now, if you haven't taken a poll on YouTube yet, relax. It's super simple. Just press on the little eye icon at the top of the video when it pops up, click on the option you'd like to vote for, then hit X to close the poll. Okay, so I think everybody's up to speed at this point, so it's time to get our vote on, fight fans. Whose side are you on this week? And for poll number 1, we have MMA Fighting reporting late last week that contract negotiations between George St-Pierre and the UFC may be breaking down. George explained that his management team failed to reach the UFC in recent attempts to further contract negotiations. He stated, "We wanted to get in touch. They were supposed to talk yesterday, but they couldn't reach them. Something happened. They're supposed to reach them. They're unreachable now." With the other side of the story, we have UFC's Dave Scholler responding, stating, "Dialogue between GSP's management and UFC officials is ongoing." Now, GSP continues to claim that he wants to return to competition and has recently enrolled in the USADA drug testing program with the intent to headline UFC 206 in Toronto, December 10th. I think we all knew that sponsorship and Reebok were going to be sticking points for the negotiations, but it's still surprising to think that it could actually kill GSP's comeback. And not pulling any punches, George hinted as much to MMA Fighting. He said, "We'll see. I've refused a lot of projects because of this. At one point, I'll have to make a choice. I want to stay sharp. I want to stay in shape. It's either you go in movies or you go in fighting." So there it is, fight fans. We've got GSP, his management team, and the UFC all playing chicken with Father Time. GSP's 35 now. December 10th is in 3 months. That's not a short amount of time at that stage of your career. It's not a lot of time to plan a main event either. So, do you think GSP will headline UFC 206 in Toronto? Get your voting done up top. Love to hear some comments from you down below. For poll number 2, we touch on the bomb Joe Silva just dropped on the MMA world when he announced his plans to retire. Busy week. Super Tate rescuing little girls, crowdfunding fighters, but in the end we had to save a spot for Joe Silva. This show's format doesn't really allow us to dive deep into Joe's career, but for anyone not familiar, he's been with the UFC longer than Dana White, and his role as chief matchmaker has made him one of the most influential people in that company's history. Maybe the sports history. Being the UFC's chief matchmaker, that sounds like a dream job. Am I right? But according to Joe Silva, if we had his job, we'd also have to hire and fire fighters, renegotiate contracts, manage a roster of hundreds of fighters and managers, contend with last-minute injuries, and withstand the barrage of continual media and public scrutiny. Wow. But I'm still gonna ask, if you had to take all the bad with the good, would you really want to be a UFC matchmaker? Get your votes in up top, and you can talk about it down below. In our third and final poll, we've got CM Punk all set for his professional and UFC debut this Saturday at UFC 203, facing off against 2-0 newcomer Mickey Gall. That's crazy. It's finally here. It's been about 2 years in the making, and love it or hate it, it'll be fascinating to witness how it finally all plays out. Both men are healthy, both men made weight, but only one is going to leave that ring victorious. Will I ask you who's going to win? No, not at all. Pretty sure we all have a good idea how things are going to go down. What I really want to know is, regardless of how things go in CM Punk's debut, do you want him to have a second fight in the UFC? Go ahead and cast your vote up top, and leave a comment down below. Okay, fight fans, that is a wrap for this episode. It was great having you stop by, and thanks for taking the polls. If you like this video, click the thumbs up button or leave us a comment down below. Also, you can stay up to date with all of our latest polls and videos by clicking right here on the really big subscribe button. It's right in the center of your screen there.